From music to parliament, Crystal Asige champions the rights of persons with disabilities, PWDs. Join us in exploring her remarkable journey of overcoming visual impairment to become a beacon of empowerment and change. The true evidence of living by faith and not by sight.
My name is Senator Crystal Asige. I was born in Mombasa County, that's my home county, and specifically born in Bombolulu, and grew up in Mombasa all my life, actually, from childhood through to high school, and it's in universities when I went abroad to study. My childhood was okay. I'm the last of 4 children. My parents still live in Mombasa now. Childhood was good, always very bubbly, always enthusiastic in school. I was a prefect in school. I was a sports captain in school. I was very active, of course, in the performing arts as well, on stage, singing, acting, dancing, and I was also a sportswoman. I enjoyed a lot of sports. I was on the swimming team, basketball team, many other teams, football, many other sports. Yeah, but those two, I specifically enjoyed swimming and basketball more. But yeah, childhood was fine. I didn't really have anyone that I wanted to be. I had people that I looked up to. I mean, many musicians. I enjoyed, like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, Lauryn Hill. I also really like listening to hip hop and rap, actually. So many musicians, I would say, celebrities, were people I used to look at and think, oh, they're amazing, and I would love to be able to do what they're doing one day. But a particular person that maybe I drew like a blueprint for my life or where I want to be in life, not really specifically, no. Yes, I've been singing since I was 3 years old. My mom discovered that I enjoyed singing because I used to sing, she says, since I was 3 years old. Coming home from nursery school, I would always sing around the house, etc. So she realized that I had a liking for music, yeah, at that age. So I went throughout my life singing, in church, in school, at events, at her company events. I would also ask if I could sing. I was very lucky to have parents who did not put any expectations on me. They didn't pressure me to do this or do that or be like so-and-so or achieve like the other person has done. They more, especially my mom, really nurtured what it is that she saw in me. So the music, the going on stage, being in theater, being in front of people. She saw that I enjoyed it, and so she used to nurture that out of me. I do remember wanting to be a vet at one point because I really love animals. I really love animals, dogs specifically. So there's a time I did spend like one school holiday in a veterinary clinic, getting experience. But then one day I saw the doctor having to put down a dog, and I was like, this job I can't do it. So. When I write music, I enjoy starting with, a lot of the time I start with an idea or a melody in my mind. Maybe I've dreamt it or this has come to me. A lot of the times it comes to me when I'm sleeping, actually. And the process begins there. Then I take my guitar and I sort of like try to create some chords to that melody that I have in my head. And then after that is when I start putting lyrics down. And I think my love for writing music started with poetry, because I used to write a lot of poetry when I was a kid. And then I realized that when you put music to poetry, it becomes a song, right? And you can sing it, etc. People really enjoy that. So that's how I started to convert my poems into songs. And now the process is largely like that, but sometimes ideas come from anywhere, so it could be talking to a friend about a situation. I'm like, that'll be interesting to write about, or going to a wedding or an event or something, hearing some really interesting beat or a really interesting lyric from someone, and then creating from there. No, I never imagined I would be a senator, a member of parliament. I never imagined I would ever be in politics, to be honest. I never grew up thinking I want to be in politics. Though when I was in my, late teens, early 20s, people used to tell me, like, you should try, be in more forums, you should speak more, basically, in these forums, community forums, etc. Because they could see that I had a talent for speaking and I was able to articulate my thoughts, etc., etc. And then once the new constitution came in play in 2010, and women reps after that also was constitutionally sort of like given provision for, I was told by some people, why don't I run for, Crystal, why don't you try and run for a women rep for Mombasa? And I was like, I don't even know what that means at that time, because everything was so new. But no, it's never been something that I planned for or dreamt of since I was 2 years old or something like that. No. But I'm grateful that I'm here. I was scared. That's the first thing that I remember feeling for sure. I was very scared. I remember speaking to my parents about it. I was like, oh my goodness. The opportunity, I applied for this opportunity and it's actually come, like, for real. Like, the chips have fallen and this is what's happening now. So I was very scared. That was my first feeling, I remember. Then it was actually my dad who calmed me down. He was like so sure that I would do a good job. He was like, with no doubt at all. He just said, but why are you scared? You're probably going to be better than myriads of MPs who have gone through the parliament, just because of how you think, how you speak, your passion for your subject matter, your love for people, your heart, things like that. So it's after I had that conversation with my father is when I was like, okay, maybe I should just try my best and go for it. The best part for you. The best part for me is being around people, I guess. I'm a recluse myself. Like, I do enjoy being by myself, living on my own, things like that. So I don't, I get anxiety being amongst many people. But now that I'm in parliament, I'm starting to appreciate being around people, being around very intelligent people as well, whether they're members of parliament or people in my office, my team. I think I enjoy that the best. And then of course meeting with people, in community, helping people, hearing their stories, doing something about it. It's really good to be able to be given a problem, and because I'm a problem solver, that's who I am. I really like problem solving. So they give me a problem, whether it's to disability or women issues or youth, etc., and then I'm able to now translate that into legislation that will support and help them.
Okay.
Yes, I am the first visually impaired senator. Correct. Because in Senate and also across in National Assembly as well, most of the times you'll find people with disabilities who are in Parliament have physical disability, but none with sensory disabilities. So we've never had in Senate a visually impaired person or a deaf person. So I'm the first visually impaired. Yes, I mean they have to. Otherwise I won't be able to participate. And if I can't participate, then I'm not going to be representing my people properly. So when I first came, I remember having many meetings with the clerk, his team, with the speaker as well, trying to explain about accessibility, what it means for a visually impaired person, because they used to just making ramps because usually it's a physically impaired person who is in Parliament, but now they have had to sort of stretch their ways of working, ways of thinking, and I've been supported, but there's still of course there's still gaps and things that can be done better, but at least I'm in a better place than I was in 2022 when I first started.
Okay.
For fun, I like watching Netflix. I'm always on Netflix doing a series of some kind. I enjoy that. I also enjoy cooking. I enjoy swimming. Mombasa, anytime I get to go home, I'm always trying to make sure I make time to get to the beach. I love sitting in the sun. I love it. I like traveling. I like being able to experience and feel the sights and the sounds of different places, so that I can create, like, a vision of in my mind about what the world looks like. So the more places I'm able to visit, sometimes I just sit, like, I can go to a community or a new town or a new city, and I just want to sit outside with my cup of chai, just listening, just sitting, just najikalisha tu hapo, and I just listen to the cars, the people walking, what their conversations, kids running around, birds, things like that. I enjoy that.
Okay.
When I joined for the first time, I think it's usually the same kind of experience, whether it's in Parliament or outside of Parliament, which is that people don't usually know how to interact with you because they've probably not been in close proximity with the PWD before. And so there's always a sense of people are a bit nervous, they're a bit anxious, they don't know what to say, how to say it, what if they say something wrong. So there's always that that hurdle to jump over at the beginning. And that happened here in Parliament as well. I think many senators, even staff around the Secretariat around Senate, they didn't really know what to do, but I had to make it comfortable for them to be around me, just to be like, you don't have to be afraid, you just talk to me, I'm just a normal person, there's nothing, I'm not contagious, so having that experience is not new for me, because it doesn't matter where I am, people usually are a bit nervous to start with, until they see my personality and that, she's just like anyone else, kind of thing. I don't think that enough has been done, no. I think that Kenya has a lot of bright minds and a lot of examples of what they could do, but the implementation has not been good. It's been quite poor, and it's a shame that the international sign for disability is like a wheelchair. When you see disability, you usually see like someone in that little sign, somebody in a wheelchair. And so I think that has played onto people's subconscious mind. So usually they just focus on the physical, sort of like the building, disability means the physical, but also disability means sensory, which means that you have to think about how you're sharing documents, how you are communicating, the formats that you're communicating in, even in chambers, for example. I've been talking to the clerk and the speaker about how do others know when the timer, how many minutes they have left to speak, for example, when they're contributing, because there's a clock up there. And I asked them, what are you guys doing about it for me? Because I don't know. Sometimes I might be contributing, I'm in the middle of my flow, and then all of a sudden I'm told you have 1 minute. But in Kenya in general, in our schools, in our healthcare systems, employment as well, people are sort of moving towards it, but it's a very slow walk, I would say.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say that limitation is only in the imagination. That's where I believe limitation lies. If you cannot think it, then you will not do it. But if you think it, then you can do it. And people should extend the same grace to people with disabilities as they would for themselves. They should. I don't walk around, or rather, people don't walk around, I'm sure, saying, "Oh, I can't do this. I can't." You wake up in the morning and you say, "I can't. I can't. I can't." No, you wake up in the morning and you say, "Okay, I've got this to do. I've got that to do. I want to achieve this in my life. This is my goals, my ambition." And people with disabilities are the same. We also have goals, ambitions, dreams, hopes, etc. And usually, majority of the time actually, it's those around us who are the ones giving or putting up a barrier between us and what we want to achieve, not usually us as the PWD ourselves. And the limitation, unfortunately, the limitations are put on our shoulders. Yeah, we don't actually. We're not born thinking like, oh, I'm limited. Yeah. It's people who are around us who actually say, okay, you have a disability and so you probably can't do this, or you can't go there, or you can't, achieve this. So then that sort of like sinks into our minds, and then of course we internalize it, which is wrong.
Okay.
What have I achieved? I think I've achieved a lot. Sometimes I don't give myself enough time to sit and think like, okay, you've done okay. This life of yours has been short, but you've packed it in with many, many things. But I have achieved a lot, not only now what I'm doing in politics, in parliament, but also before that, and in music, in advocacy work. I think I'm proud of myself so far. Of course, I know my own personality sort of like pushes me to do more, be more, sort of like achieve more. But if I look at my life so far and sort of like lay it out behind me, I think I'm doing okay. And if in the future, I just want to go wherever God wants to take me. Yeah, that's the simplest way to put it. Because my life has not been something that has been very predictable. It's been very, up and down, round and round, etc. And none of it has really been planned out. The plans that I made in the past, of course, the disability changed those plans. Yeah, it took me in a different direction. Not a bad direction, but a different one. So if I sit here and say, okay, in 5 years I'm going to do this, 10 years I'm going to do that, I'll be limiting myself. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of apathy amongst young people. They have never really understood that they're the ones with the power. They've never understood Article 1 of the Constitution that says sovereign power lies in the people of Kenya. People have put me here. I am your employee. That means that you're my boss, right? And if you're my boss, that means that you're the one in control. And young people, unfortunately, have not internalized that, or maybe they have not understood that. There's a lot of apathy. And I think that for me, if I just take my own life as an example, me wanajituma. Like, I don't sit and wait for something to happen. I push myself towards like a particular direction, a goal, right? Because I don't believe in things just falling on your lap. Sometimes it happens, sometimes you're lucky, great, but usually you lazima ujitume. And so I would say to young people that they need to definitely be a bit more like hungry, for things like, let's end corruption, let's improve education systems, let's improve employment opportunities, etc. And they're the ones who'll be able to do that. And I think that when you leave it for other people, that's how, if you never leave, like, for example, if you like to cook a particular meal, you just leave it on the stove, alafu go nje, and you just say, hey, itajipika tu hizo vitunguu, nyanya, whatever. You have to get in the kitchen and roll up your sleeves and get involved. My life has shown me the importance of being adaptable. You have to be versatile in this world. Yeah, you can't just say like, oh, I'm going to do this and this one thing. Nowadays, the way we're going, the way the world is, shaping out, it will need people who are versatile. You need like 3 or 4 or 5 skills. You need to be able to, take care of your mental health. You need to understand the importance of all kinds of geopolitical sort of like subject matters. Everything feeds into everything. I had young people saying like, oh, I'm not going to vote because that nothing, this country they'll do whatever they want, kind of thing, in the last elections. And we'll just continue being content creators. Now look, content creators are the ones who are being looked for. Yeah, TikTokers. They never thought that the government would reach them, but now look, they're here. Digital world, here we are. So if they had paid attention in 2022, then hopefully they would have put people into positions of power that they believe in and they can follow and they can trust, have their best interests at heart. So I will say that you need to be versatile and don't think that only one talent, one subject, one interest will push you far.
Thank you so much for having us.
Asante.
And agreeing to have this sit down with
Thank you for calling on us. I appreciate it.
This story has been produced by The Star in partnership with One Ifra Women in News Social Impact Reporting Initiative.